Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're listening from in the world. My name is Jacqueline Dixon, and you're tuned in to the Ordinary People Show. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things. We're broadcasting live from Toronto, Canada, and we're powered by GBKM FM TV. I'm in studio this fantastic Saturday morning in the T-Dot, and we are still dodging the bullets, ladies and gentlemen. We're dodging the bullets because we really haven't had any significant snowfall this year, so we're still able to move around the city quite nicely, even though we're locked down. But hey, guess what? It's all temporary because we can finally see the finish line coming. Vaccines on their way, and people are doing their social distancing. Thank you so much, Toronto. Thank you so much, GBKM listeners and viewers. We're all in this together. We can make it. We can do this. The finish line is just around the corner. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I was not in studio last week. Thank you so much to the listeners and viewers who pay attention when I'm not here. No, we had a rerun last week, and I just want to thank everybody for watching the rerun. Whenever we are not live, I am not live in studio, which is very there will be no post, but certainly we will always have the Ordinary People Show on air regardless. We have a number of fantastic shows in our arsenal, in our library of Ordinary People shows that's been on the air now for some 4 years, that we love to share with you again whenever that opportunity exists. As for today, ladies and gentlemen, it's live and direct. We got about 2 more Saturdays before Christmas, before the holiday season, before the turkey cutting and the Christmas giving and all the sorrel and the black cake eating starts. And maybe some of you have started that already. And I wanted to bring to you a show that I've been wanting to do for some time. And it's an entrepreneurial segment of my series of Ordinary People shows. Ordinary People show, in all honesty, started off many years ago we built our brand up on entrepreneurs, on individuals who wanted to stop talking about what they want to do in life and decided to start doing it. And that's what brings you from ordinary into extraordinary. And that's what could potentially get you on this show in the near future. I have 2 wonderful guests waiting in the wings that I'm going to introduce to you after my first commercial break. It's all about entrepreneurs this week. It's all about ending the year on a victorious note, and it's about learning and getting inspired from those who fought the good fight and came out on top. I can't wait. But before we take our first commercial break, of course, let me do my pleasantries as I always do. I want to thank our sponsor and number 1 sponsor for allowing us to be on air today, and that would be New Era Communications. New Era Communications is a professional speakers platform and training platform for up-and-coming sales professionals and entrepreneurs. Do you want to learn the secret to success in keeping revenue coming through your company on a consistent basis? Learn the sales process and what governs your route to success as an entrepreneur by contacting neweracommunications.ca. We also want to thank our guests from last week, the week before, in all honesty. We have been getting so much feedback on the last live show that we did right here on GBKM, which was the show that we talked about the future of Black radio in Canada. I want to thank my guests and give a big shout out to my guests once again. That would be Paula Latang from 1280 AM, Carrie Lee Crawford, formerly from 90G 98.7, Spider Lee Jones as well was here with me, and other special guests on that day. We had an awesome time. The feedback is still coming in. We do have a part 2 to that coming up, so pay attention to when that will be aired as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to bring attention to the fact that there will be an awesome event taking place on the GBKM platform this evening, starting at 6 p.m. sharp. And that will be the Keep6.org Stop Gun Violence telethon and fundraiser that will take place tonight at 6 p.m. right here. So make sure you tune in live for the fundraiser that will start at 6 and it'll go till 9:30. Tons of live performances and special guest artists. The mayor of Brampton himself will be also debuting. You want to make sure that you stay locked to GBKM FM as of 6 p.m. tonight. Liberty Silver and just a whole plethora of other fantastic artists that will be coming together for the message that we also desperately need right now, which is stop gun violence. Once again, that's being brought to you by Keep6.org. And if you want to find out more about tonight's event or how to participate, then visit their website, once again, Keep6.org, to get all the details. GBKM TV, ladies and gentlemen, is a 24-hour news and radio platform. We provide 24-hour radio 7 days a week, and you can visit us at our brand new home, which is www.gbkmtv. When we are not pumping out the fantastic music from all genres, reggae, Afrobeats, soul, gospel, jazz, and so much more. We have a number of live programs for you to choose from throughout the full course of the week. Follow us on GBKM TV and download our latest app. Now, that's a mouthful and a half. I'm ready to get going with today's show. I'm ready to get inspired, and I hope you are too. So grab yourself a cup of coffee or a bottle of water, and if you're in the Eastern time zone, it's after 12 o'clock, so you can get a glass of wine. Sit back and get comfortable with me, because we're going to be sharing some inspiring stories right about now. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back with my guest. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. I'm Liberty Silver from Keep6.org. I'm here to inform you of Stop the Violence virtual concert, December 12th at 6 p.m. We will be raising funds through this concert to give families who have been impacted by gun violence, helping them to have a happier holiday season. Please visit www.keep6.org to donate. Hello, everybody.
Hello, my name is Ryan Knight, the co-founder and executive director of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network Foundation. I am here excited to announce the new microloan program that we have put together. With the support of Alterna Savings Credit Union and the partnership of SETC, Empowered Forex, and the Dream Legacy Foundation, we're going to be helping more entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage get access to funding and help with their grant writing. Please visit our website, acbncanada.com, to learn more if you're an entrepreneur that's in need of funding or if you would love to support.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ordinary People Show. My name is Jacqueline Dixon and I'm your host. I'm excited to be in studio today. This is my second to last show for the 2020 season before we wrap it up and come back in a brand new spanking year. And I couldn't think of a better way to wind my year down than to have two powerful, inspiring entrepreneurs on my show that I have been admiring on social media for the last while now. And I just wanted to invite them on the show today to see if you are going to feel the same way about these two ladies that I do, and I hope that's the case. What is the message today? What's the topic? It's about emerging victorious in this pandemic. We have had one heck of a year, haven't we? Oh my God. We're going to talk about it in just a second, but let me introduce my two guests to you and get started on this fantastic interview. My first guest I want to introduce to you, this is a little sweetheart of mine that I've known for a few years now, and I keep running into her at various different events throughout the city that I attend or I participate in. And she's been always one of those warm, welcoming faces. At every time I step into the venue, she's there and she's, hi Jackie or hi Jacqueline. And she's just so welcoming and so adorable. And when I heard about what she got accomplished this year, I was so thrilled. I had to invite her onto the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Stacy Savory. And I'm going to just read a little bit about her background, and then we're going to take it. We're going to take it from there. Stacy Savory she's the author now, and she's written a book called The Perfect Storm. And Stacy has a personal story that has been written inside of this book. Of betrayal, loss, triumph, and redemption, and so much more. We're going to get into that in just a second. But I have another guest that I will also be interviewing today as well, and she's waiting in the wings. And I just want to touch on what she has been up to as well. Another one of the ladies that I've been admiring on social media for quite some time now, because I really admire energy and I admire strength. Especially in difficult times, in times when adversity seems to be all around us. I really admire people who can look adversity in the face and say, you know what, I got this. And this is one of those ladies that I have noticed has got this message down pat. She is Cheryl Dean McDonald Duhane, and she is an entrepreneur extraordinaire. She's a serial entrepreneur. Her bio goes on and on and on. But we're going to talk and zoom into what she has been able to do to reinvent herself this year, in face of this pandemic that we have encountered, and how she has come out of the year successfully as a result of choosing to reinvent herself in a time of adversity. But let's start with Stacy first. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome Stacy Savory to the Ordinary People Show. Stacy, good morning or good afternoon. How are you today?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. There is a good storm blowing these days, right? You said something earlier, Miss Jacqueline, about this year being a whirlwind. For me, it's been the perfect storm. I don't know about you, but even I've heard from other people, it's just that storm that came. We weren't prepared. We, in terms of our finances, our educations, our careers, everything was just caught up. But somehow, by the grace of God, we made it to the end. It's December, right? And I can honestly say that I'm truly blessed and I'm grateful for the time that I have, the lessons that I've learned to get me to this point and to be able to write it down. Finally, my story. It took 7 years, but this year was a time to get it done. And I'm so happy. Thank you for having me.
Wow. And you know what? You can see the blessing is all over you. Now I'm going to go a little bit deeper in your bio so that the listeners and the viewers can get an appreciation for you the way that I do. So, A Perfect Storm is Miss Savory's personal story. It's one of betrayal, loss, triumph, and redemption. This redemption story is a real life modern day account of a prodigal daughter returning home. This fierce woman has battled many storms of life and even met her perfect storm, which was meant to take her out. Did she survive the perfect storm? Also serves as a guide on how to overcome living with disability, chronic pain, and disease like endometriosis. Wow. That's big stuff. That's big stuff, Stacy. And it's something that I absolutely never knew that you were even going through in the years that I have known you, in the various different venues and events that we've both been at. I had no idea that you were going through this life crippling illness. Can you share with us, the listeners? I know you say that you've written a book now. It's been 7 years in the making, but you wrote a book mainly because you're inspired to do so because of an illness that you suffer from called endometriosis. Is that correct?
Mhm. Yes, endometriosis.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you explain for us and just hold that mic up real good so that everyone can get to hear every word that you've got to say. Explain to us what is endometriosis, please.
Well, endometriosis, it comes in four different stages. I'm at the most severe stage, which is stage 4. And basically, it's a disorder where the tissue makes the uterine lining, the lining of the womb, grows outside of the uterus. So every month when a woman menstruates, it sheds out, but instead of shedding out, it sheds to other parts of the body. It could actually, it's very painful, very debilitating. It can keep you bedridden. It could keep you bound. It could keep you home for days, off from work, sick leave. Endometriosis is usually found in the ovaries, and the fallopian tubes, and the tissue lining your pelvis. Despite all that, being diagnosed in 2017, as you can see, Jacqueline, that didn't stop me. You still saw me in the community, showing up for events, still working. Unfortunately, when I was diagnosed, I was in recovery, so I wasn't able to work full time. That's when I think my whole entrepreneurship really grabbed me and said, you know what? If I'm not able to work full time, I'm gonna have to be able to provide get resources from other things. So I started selling products. I started being brand ambassadoring for major lines, going to different events and contracting myself out as a hostess or greeter or speaker. And then basically from all that, I was just able to create just this identity in the community. Many people do know me online as Destiny Savory. So I created this name and this face and my brand for myself. And through that, like I said, I didn't let it slow me down and I didn't let it stop me. So,
So tell us,
yeah.
it's clear to me that you didn't because until this book came out, matter of fact, no, to be honest, I think it was not this year, Stacy. I think it was the year before because this year didn't even exist. But I think it was
Yeah.
the year before where we were doing, GB Cam was covering the Afro Caribbean Festival.
Yes.
In Scarborough. We were covering that live, and you were there at a booth that was specifically set up to educate people on this matter of endometriosis. And I'm thinking, what is Stacy doing there? She's everywhere. And I go over there and only to find out that you are there as an advocate because you yourself suffer from that illness. And I had no idea. It blew me away. And I even gained more admiration for you than ever at that point, right?
Yes, thank you. I'd like to say that the booth that you've seen me in was actually my work that I do, that I work with projects with women's health and women's health in Hand Community Center in downtown Toronto. It's through them that I've learned to be advocating for others in terms of sexual health, HIV and AIDS prevention. I've run workshops in the community specifically for Black and Caribbean women in the community. So through that, advocating for others, I told myself, if I can advocate for others, then maybe I should be advocating for myself. So yes, Jackie, since then, I've been speaking out through also joined with the Endometriosis Network of Canada, where I've shared my story online. I've shared my story to the masses in throughout Toronto and Canada. And I'm so glad to have platforms like yourself, GBK, TV online through YouTube and through Facebook that I'm able to share and continue to share despite not being able to be with people physically.
Now, this segment of the interview is specifically for you. And Geraldine, you can comment too if there's anything that moves you with what Stacy is saying. But I just want to dwell on this just a little bit longer because 2020 has been what I believe to be just an absolutely horrendous year. Okay, and just when you think that things were going okay, and I can't think of a soul in my circle anyways that was going into 2020 with anything less than outstanding high hopes. The amount of plans that were in place for 2020 were through the roof. It was over the top. It was going to be the biggest year for so many people, including, myself and GBKM and so many people within our network. We were ready. And then something happened. Bam. Right? The whole entire world shut down. And then we started to lose lives left, right, and center. We'll touch on that in a little bit. And it's not many people that have been able to emerge from a year like this in a successful manner. Never mind go in themselves deep enough to be able to complete a book of this nature and then bring it to fruition and then have it touch so many people's lives, and then end up on a successful note like yours. Can you tell us about the challenges that you faced completing this book during this pandemic and what type of reception you got initially when you introduced it to the general public?
Okay, well, I just want to say that I purposely published with a faith-based publishing company called Dada the King, Farrell Hodgson, and she mentors women, single moms, and different things. And basically, she kind of coached me through the process of writing the book. Writing the book physically, during that point, it was physically exhausting. So I have to tell you right now that I actually wrote the book from my bed.
From your
I
bed.
wrote from my bed, in terms of I was not well. I basically wrote my notes, wrote the book, and then I spoke out the book, and then I was able to get help to transcribe and eventually edited and everything. But it's something that at one point I physically couldn't type. I physically couldn't write. And I said, Lord, what's happening here? I said, this book that I'm working on really must be something, because I literally felt like I was meant to be taken. I honestly thought at one point I was in so much pain that I had to go to the hospital. I said, you know what? I can't. And somehow through that, I had to pray, I had to fast, and I basically had to call upon my team, my inner circle. My inner circle prayed with me and encouraged me. And I got stuck at the top, but I plowed through and I got the 7 chapters done. Now, when I tell people the type of pain that I went to, physical pain, they're like, wow, how did you do it? And I said, you know what? I could tell you it's literally by the grace of God. There's no way I can tell you that there's no way that I physically could do that in myself. But I know that there's a strength and a resilience that I got through this year. Everything I had to look at, it basically was a self-reflection of myself. Everything that I was running from, everything on separation, divorce, betrayal, having to leave my ministry, having to leave my home, having to leave my country at one point. Everything that I was running from came face to face with the woman in the mirror. I had to look at myself and I saw myself through God's eyes. I saw myself worthy. I saw myself as the daughter of a king. So therefore, I was able to finish it to completion.
Fantastic. Well, certainly it had to be meaningful enough to you to do that, considering that you were in so much pain, and then also considering that there wasn't a lot of positive things happening around you, not a lot of encouraging things happening around you in a year like this. Stacy, can you tell us how many women do you know of that suffer from this disease? Do we have any idea? Are there any statistics? Is this a disease that affects Black women more so than Caucasian women? Is it hereditary? How does it come about? What can you share with us about this?
Yeah, so I am 1 in 10. They say 1 in 10 women So that can be your sister, that could be your
One in
mother, that
10
could be your
women
aunt. Yes,
suffer
1 in 10
from,
women
wow, that's
suffer
amazing.
from endometriosis. It's very high in Canada. The reason why I know, because I belong to support groups, and there's thousands of women, millions of women, right? From what I do know, it in terms of fibroids and cysts, and it's more prevalent in Black and African Caribbean community. So yes, I cannot say that it's more than Caucasian women, but I do know that for myself, my family, my aunts, my people in my family, the women in my family have suffered from fibroids and cysts. Unfortunately, or there's only one person that I know in my family that also has endometriosis. So then, yes, it is hereditary. It seems like in my generation, it skipped to my mother's generation, and it caught me and another family member. But like I said, it's something that we do not talk about. People don't want to talk about menstruation and fertility and all these things, and because that also affects their fertility. The one reason that a woman may go to the gynecologist after a while that she finds out that she might not be able to get pregnant, and then when they do the test, they actually figure out it is endometriosis that she has. So I just want to encourage women, if you have a gut, I also write this in my book, get a second opinion, reach out to other women that you might know, because it's very hard to diagnose. It took me 7 to 10 years to be diagnosed officially in Canada, and the only way it could be diagnosed is through surgery, right? So, yes.
It's amazing, absolutely amazing. And once again, I applaud your courage and for doing that, because you know you're absolutely correct. Though I think endometriosis, maybe the word itself isn't a common word to most people, but I think fibroids and cysts would be a word that people would be more familiar with, right? And I think based on the statistical information that I have read and put together, it appears that at women of color, primarily African American, African Canadian, Caribbean, do suffer from fibroids and cysts more so than Caucasian women do. And there is some sort of hereditary composition to it as well. So this is something that you said that, you know, in many cases isn't even discovered until there's surgery involved. Can you tell us, is there a cure? Is there a fix? Can it, through surgery or medication, be corrected?
So unfortunately, there's no cure, but most women are recommended by their doctors or the surgeons, if it's extremely painful, like myself with stage 4, to have a hysterectomy. And I have to say, there's women that I know who have took out their full wombs, partial or full, and I know for a fact that even though you take out your womb, endometriosis is still there, and it still affects your daily living. So unfortunately, there's no cure. I also want to say, as a Black woman in Toronto within the medical system, I literally had to fight for the right for my voice to be heard with doctors and specialists. I've seen more than 7 doctors before I was able to be taken seriously. So yes, you literally it literally built up some sort of resilience and backbone in my case. But in terms of I literally have to there's therapies that I have to go to, whether it be cupping or massage therapy. I had to do pelvic floor physiotherapy. Your diet and nutrition is also tied in. I've used a more holistic approach because the doctors do want you to take some sort of birth control or some sort of like an IUD or something else to kind of cure.
Right.
But it just masks the symptoms, Jacqueline.
Right.
just mask the symptoms. It doesn't make anything go away. It's just a temporary solution so you can get up and look normal and go about your everyday living like everybody else. But we are not normal.
It's a
We
bandage
suffer from pain
solution.
every single day. So we do well at masking it. But I
Oh,
come to a point in my life that I will no longer mask it. I will no longer be in silent, and I have to speak for others, and I will do so.
wonderful. Thank you so much. Stacy, tell us about the book. What will we learn? What would an individual learn from reading this book, from purchasing this book? What are they going to take away?
I think the reason I called it The Perfect Storm, Navigating the Storms of Life in Messy Waters, I think there's so much messiness that happened in this year in 2020. Despite me being diagnosed, despite me, a lot of people don't know that I'm actually also hard of hearing, so I'm considered a woman with a disability. Despite me not being able to do a 9 to 5 job, I can still work from home. I can still find other resources and other things to be valuable in the community. I can still volunteer. I can still be an active citizen and global citizen in my community. Despite all that, you can make it through the other side, despite how messy it is.
Wow. Can you hold the book up for us, Stacy, and tell us where we can find that book? How can we help to support this message and your entrepreneurship adventure here by becoming an author? Tell us how we can do that.
Yes, so for the local Toronto people, you can contact me personally on my Instagram or through Messenger, Facebook Messenger, or through iamdestinysavory@gmail.com. And the book is available on Amazon.com, through Kindle, and the ebook, and the paperback is there. And so I just want to say that the first 2, 3 weeks of me opening, I made the 100 top bestsellers list for my category for holistic medicine, and I'm so happy. So far I've sold over 25,000 copies on
Wow.
Kindle, and I'm excited. So I had a prayer. I said, God, I want to do something where I can make money for my bed,
Oh.
and I accomplished that. So I just want to encourage you guys, don't give up on your dream, no matter what you're going through. If it gets messy, you can be the captain of your own ship, and you can make it through the perfect storm.
Oh, fantastic. And Stacy, how much is the book, please?
The book online in American is 19.99.
19.99 online.
Yes, 19.99. Yes.
Okay. And I've been told that if you're in Toronto, it might even get
Yes.
delivered by yourself personally. Is that correct?
Y- Yes, I'm doing pickup and drop-offs. I also have a Toronto pop-up shop that you'll be able to pick up in Toronto. So if you pick it up from me in Toronto, you can get it for $25.
$25 to have it personally delivered and signed by yourself.
Yeah.
Wow, that
Yes.
sounds really cool. That sounds really cool. Thank you so much. That's a beautiful story, fantastic, inspiring story, and it's all about the reality of what so many women face. And that, but have a hard time talking about. And thank you for being brave enough to bring it to the forefront. And I'm sure that a lot of lives are going to be touched for the better as a result of it. Awesome. Stay with us, okay? Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to be right back with my second guest. She's a firecracker and a half, and I can't wait to wrap up the show with this interview. Geraldine McDonald Duhaney, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about emerging victorious in this pandemic. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Liberty Silver from keep6.org. I'm here to inform you of Stop the Violence virtual concert, December 12th at 6 p.m. We will be raising funds through this concert to give families who have been impacted by gun violence, helping them to have a happier holiday season. Please visit www.keep6.org to donate.
Support this organization. Hello, my name is Ryan Knight, the co-founder and executive director of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network Foundation. I am here excited to announce the new microloan program that we have put together. With the support of Alterna Savings Credit Union and the partnership of SETC, Empowered Forex, and the Dream Legacy Foundation, we're going to be helping more entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage get access to funding and help with their grant writing. Please visit our website, acbncanada.com, to learn more if you're an entrepreneur that's in need of funding or if you would love to support this.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to the Ordinary People Show. My name is Jacqueline Dixon. I'm your host. And for those of you who are just joining us right now, we have a double whammy interview in process right now with two fantastic entrepreneurs, two ladies that I personally admire so much. And it's great to be able to bring an entrepreneurial show to the GBKM platform and to the Ordinary People Show. And I actually plan on doing an entrepreneur segment every 4 to 6 weeks. So if you are an entrepreneur and you feel that you've got a product or service that you need to expose to the general public because you think it'll bring value to their lives, certainly contact GBKM TV and we'll see if we can get you on the Ordinary People Show or maybe one of our other live shows that we have on the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, so here comes my second guest now, okay? And what did we talk about? I mean, Destiny and Shardine, what did I open up with? I opened up about the fact that this year has not been a very warm year or welcoming year for so many people, including myself included. This year has been filled with destruction, disappointment, and just grief for so many people on so many different levels, financially, emotionally, physically, and it seems like for so many of us, it's really taken its toll on our lives, and it's taken its toll on our emotions, and we need to hear some good news. We need to hear some good news. We need to be encouraged that this too shall pass. What about all the people that have lost their homes this year? A number of people have lost their homes. Their inability to make mortgage payments because of this pandemic and the loss of work. The people that have been unable to pay their rent, again, because of their loss of employment and therefore their loss of income. What about the people who've lost loved ones? And in some families, it's been multiple loved ones as a result of this pandemic and the disease that came with it. There's just been so many things that have happened, Shardine, and I find that it's very few people that have been able to emerge successfully. And one of the biggest things that has happened, or one of the most critical things that's happened this year, is people have lost their pride or their self-esteem in a certain sense, because it takes a lot for you to go from providing for yourself to taking a handout. And because that's basically how some of us are going to size this up. You've gone from being an independent provider of your own household to being a person that now relies on handouts, whether it's from the federal government or whether it's from the maybe food banks or other places, because you had no choice, because the circumstances and situations that occurred throughout the course of this year didn't play to your favor. Some of us have gone through that, and we need to show empathy and sympathy towards those individuals that have. And if we know of individuals like that have suffered or who are suffering, it's our responsibility to reach out to them and help in some way, shape, or form. I've always said, don't give a man a fish. Teach him how to fish so that he can eat for the rest of his life. Cheryl Dean, talk to me. Talk to me, Cheryl Dean. Okay? Because you are
Okay.
one of those individuals who has emerged as a result of reinventing yourself once being faced with this pandemic. Let me just tell the listeners and viewers just a little bit about some of the things that you have done because it goes on and on. Cheryl Dean is a Jamaican born who later migrated to Canada with her family and has developed as a powerful philanthropist. When asked why she is so relentless, she would say she is determined to break down social barriers and stereotypes which has crippled other dreams, drive, and vision. Cheryl Dean's hobby is cooking because she loves food, and she's the owner of a business called Adicianice, which specializes in authentic Jamaican dishes and caters for you. But that's just a few of the things that you do as Cheryl Dean. Cheryl Dean, take it away from here. Welcome to the Ordinary People Show.
Thank you, Miss Jackie. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be here. I'm super excited. I hope that you guys can hear me
We
clearly.
want you to
I'm
speak up because we
speaking.
want to hear every word coming out of your mouth.
I hope that you guys can hear me clearly because I'm speaking as loud as I can. Can you
Okay.
guys hear me?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So, first, thank you again, Miss Jackie, for the opportunity for this platform. Giving us this platform to basically shine, right? So I'm super excited about that. And of course, we know, Miss Jackie, that the pandemic, of course, it hit the world, right? And we've made plans in 2019 for 2020, right? And of course, we had to pivot because of what happened, right? Beyond our control. But do we stop? No, we don't stop, right? So one of the things that keep me motivated, right, is to be intentional. We have to be intentional, right? And one of the things, Jackie, that distract me from the obstacles and what's happening, because again, I don't have no control of it, right? But I focus on what I have control of. And what I have control of is my personal growth and development. So I choose to be intentional about my growth. So that's what keeps me going, being intentional.
Wow, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, I mentioned something about your resilience, of course, and your
Mhm.
determination, but you are what you would call also a serial entrepreneur, right? You
Yes.
you are an individual that has been bit by the entrepreneurial bug. So, I want you to walk us through what has the process that you went through this year. When you started off the year, what your intentions were, and then what happened at the point where the pandemic shut us down, and then how you emerged from your cocoon after to turn into this butterfly that you are today.
Okay, so the good thing is my business is always online. I've been in network marketing for over 10 years. So I'm always online. So that's the good news, right? But with the whole pandemic and everything, of course, there had to be a pivot. So during the pandemic, had to be creative, right? Had to be creative now. I have to find out what is it that is needed out there. Hence, I started at this nice, right? Because people want to eat, right? And it's important. So, and I love food. So during the pandemic, I decided I have to be a little bit more creative. And instead of me talking about it, I said, why not just do it? So, right now, actually, I have a drink of sorrel, right? First, I started out with just the sorrel drink. And then I decided, you know what? I'm also going to bake some cake as well. Right. So I had to be very creative, right, with what's going on so that I can still have revenue coming in, even though I have my online business. But I see it as an opportunity, right? And I capitalize on the opportunity.
Wonderful. So initially, you started the year off in your regular network marketing business, and
Yes.
those type of businesses, Cheryl Dean, are the type of businesses where that program heavily relies on socializing, doesn't it? It
Right.
relies
Yes.
on you having meetings and people showing up and you
Yes.
doing presentations, and that's how you would generally network and connect with
Right.
potentially new clients and such like that. Am I correct?
You're correct. And so we had to shift it now to virtual, right? We had to
Right.
shift it to virtual. And which, to be honest with you, I think I love the virtual because I find that when you're meeting in person, people really didn't have much time. But I find out that virtually they make more time and they're able to attend these meetings more.
So let's just stay right there for a second because there's so many people, Cheryl Dean, that really need to hear about that process of going from the only thing that you knew how to do in order for your business to work, which was meet people in person, shake their hands, talk to them in person, do presentations, to a point where you could not do that anymore. But you still needed to conduct business. You still needed to generate an income. You still needed to be able to sell your product and service. So that transition from going from a in-person presentation to virtual presentations is one in which we lost a lot of people. Don't you believe that there's a lot of entrepreneurs that just felt intimidated about this whole concept of going virtual? Do you agree with me?
I totally agree. I totally agree. And that's where you have to stretch yourself. That's where now you will have to challenge actually yourself, right? Because I'm a person, I love people, I love to hug. And I'm not able to do that when I meet you. So when I see my friend out there, my business partner, and I'm not able to embrace them, Miss Jackie, it is not easy, right? Because I love to do that. I love to embrace, even though it's business, I like to build that relationship, that friendship, right? With them. It's not all about just taking their money and just selling them a product. I believe in the power of connection, and that's why social virtual connection is still powerful. It is still powerful, right? To do that.
And it can be learned. It can be
Very
learned,
much.
right?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
listen, I noticed there's something else in your portfolio that we have in common, and I'll just tell the listeners. It says here that you are a certified John Maxwell International speaker and leadership trainer, and you're the founder and executive director of I Lead Youth Center, a youth leadership program in your community. So I too am a professional speaker, Cheryl Dean, and I run leadership programs specifically geared to women. But yes, I had to myself learn how to adapt to the virtual world as well because I was not able to keep any of my engagements this year, do any of my speaking events, and that was a really big blow to me. But I, like yourself and like so many others, I had to learn. You know, you can either choose to give up
Mm-hmm.
or you can choose to adapt.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter your age, does it? Does it matter your age? Huh?
Not at all.
I seen some 80-year-olds. I'm telling you, I had a
Yep.
meeting with an 82-year-old man this week who just learned how to text
All right. There you go. There you go. Yep.
because he had to in
Yep.
order to keep his business going. He has to
Yep.
try to
Yep.
adapt. And ladies, I think that's one of the most important things that you two speak to is the willingness to adapt
Mm-hmm.
under the pressures that we have faced during this pandemic. And Cheryl Dean, that's an awesome story. But so tell us now, you sat back and you thought to yourself, I've got to reinvent myself. I've got to reinvent how I'm going to be able to deliver product and service and still be able to communicate effectively. I'm going to check out this online virtual conversation thing. Did you have to take a training class? What did you just mess around with your computer? Just was it trial and error? How did it go?
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, Miss Jackie, as I said before, even though we meet up in person for my trainings and mastermind trainings, I usually do online as well. So
Okay.
because I have people from the States, people in India, all over. So we always doing it virtual. What's new to me now is this breakout room. Having, for example, say you want to host like a event that caters to different topics, right? The breakout room now, that's where I'm trying to learn now. The breakout room, right, where you can put them in different rooms
You too,
and
Stacy.
still conduct a effective event, right? Because I have an event coming up next year, the power of gratitude. So now already I'm like, okay, I have to figure out how am I going to do this so that it can still continues, because life still goes on, right? Life still goes on, and the person that we want to be, we got to start being it, start living it, right? Start taking risk. And Miss Jackie, I am a big risk taker. I take risks because that's how you're going to learn. That's how you're going to grow, right? We all have dreams. We all have goals. You know what I mean? We all have aspiration. But in order for us to achieve those, we have to still grow. And I choose to grow. And that's why I'm intentional about my growth. I was hit too by the pandemic, but I had to learn, right? How to strategize, whatever. Guys, I'm Jamaican, and that's the word right there. So you fill in the gap, right, Miss Jackie? So I had to learn to come up with different strategies of how to make this happen. The power of connection is the key, Miss Jackie. And you said it. We have to learn to find different ways to connect. Get out of your circle. Come out of your circle. I mean, people like go into somebody's inbox. Hi, how are you doing? And another thing too, Miss Jackie, for the entrepreneurs out there that have products, I encourage you build a genuine relationship, not because you just want to sell a product, right? Because you don't want the relationship to stop there. You want it to be ongoing. And that's why I am successful. That's why I am winning. Why? Because I appreciate people. I value people. People know when you value them, right? So stop trying to push just products and just make a little chump change. You don't want a chump change. You want to build genuine friendship and relationship so that your business can continue to grow, because that's what you want, growth, right? Yeah.
I see. What did I say? What did I say? I said this is one of those interviews where I'm gonna absolutely love, okay? Because you just spoke right to my core. You just spoke right to sales as a professional sales trainer. And I tell you, I've been in the business for umpteen years. Okay, trained hundreds
Mhm.
sales professionals, entrepreneurs, very, very successful. I tell them over and over again, sales is about relationships.
Yep.
It's about relationships. And it is built on a foundation of
Mhm.
trust.
Yep.
So, when you learn how to create relationships, how to nurture relationships,
Yep.
you're no longer selling, you're just facilitating, and that's when it is just all pure joy. So
Yep.
now let's talk about this new venture kind of sort of thing. So Charlene, you had a
Yeah.
hobby which was at one point it was just a hobby, right?
Right.
And because you had your lucrative businesses that were working for you, but you had this little hobby that you were doing, which was cooking.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that hobby became more than just a hobby this year, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Yes, it
Okay.
did.
That hobby became more than just a hobby. It turned into a money making
Yes.
machine for you.
Yep.
And it's picking up some serious
Yes.
steam.
Yes.
Tell us about this. What is going on in Cheryl Dean's kitchen?
All right. Well, you know what? I believe in multiple streams of income, to be honest with you. So I decided, all right, I'm going to start with just a sorrel drink, Miss Jackie. And then I'm like, you know what? Why not try bake a cake? And anyways, I got the recipe. I started baking my black cake, which I have here, guys. So that's what I want to talk about. I want you guys to see it. I have my black cake at this yard nice. You have to taste this cake. And Miss Jackie, I'm telling you, I'm not lying. Toronto, Brampton, because I live up north, and people are supporting. I did not know, but you know, I shouldn't be surprised because I know the person that I am. So, you know, and how I connect with people, and you know what I mean, and how I add value. So I shouldn't really be surprised. But they love my black cake. And I'm like, woo. So this is no longer just a drink business. I'm actually doing black cake as well. And I'm also doing fish fry Fridays. So I choose Friday nights to be my night to focus on my hobby, right? Because I love food. So Friday nights I do fish fry, wings and festival. And for the Christmas season, I'm doing my black cake. Miss Jackie, I will definitely get you your black cake to you because you have to try this for yourself.
Wow.
Very nice.
So listen, I saw this post on social media where I had seen some fish all done up. And Jamaicans, Caribbeans on a whole, but
Yeah.
Jamaicans have a way of sending a message through their fry fish.
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
It sends a very clear message. And I got the message loud and clear. When I saw that fried fish on social media, I said, dang, girl has got it going on here. What is she? And then I saw the other things happen. I thought, this is a beautiful thing. So,
Yes.
so, so how do we go about this now? So you got some tasty fried fish on Fridays. Is it?
Yes, and
What's
wings
the
and
menu? How does the menu work now?
so on Fridays, only wings and festival with fish, escabeche fish.
Wings and
That's it.
festival with fish.
Because you still want to enjoy your life. It's not always about just going out there. You want to still have fun with the things that you love, right? So I decided that Fridays is Geraldine's time to do what Geraldine also love to do as well, in addition to my other businesses, right? I also run a youth organization in the community that focuses on leadership training because we know the youths are the future,
Yeah.
right? So we want to make sure that we're equipping them with the right tools and skills so that they can be positive leaders of influence for today, right? So yeah, so basically, and of course, and I said to you before, Miss Jackie, that I also do network marketing, right, as well. So you guys are gonna see Christmas is almost done. People are gonna need to detox, right? So of course I got your tea. You got your detox tea. So it's about capitalizing on the opportunity and just be intentional and make it happen. Stop talking, just do it. Don't worry about who is criticizing. Don't worry about who is saying why she's doing so many stuff. Who cares? Just do you and make it happen. That's it.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And sales is the bloodline of every organization. It's going to be the bloodline for you, Destiny, to keep those books because I know that this is going to be one of many books that's going to come out from Stacy Savory. I just know it. And it's all about the relationships that Stacy you have built over the years, that you have been nurturing over the years, as to why you're going to get the support that you so rightfully deserve. And Geraldine, I can tell you right now as a sales trainer, you got it, girl. You got it, and you know how to bring value. I want you just keep going on, man. Just keep going on. And we here at GBKM believe in you ladies and what you're doing so much that we want to support both of your businesses. And we want to personally place an order for 2 books from you, Stacy. We want to keep one in our GBKM studios here so that when our guests and our stop by and our clients stop by, they will see it on display and hopefully they will want to purchase as well. And Geraldine, we are finishing our year off here at GBKM with a 5-person staff, 5 staff members in the studio, and we're going to need some food catered for that. So we would like to order that from you as well. Okay?
Thank
So
you. Thank you, Miss Jackie and
so
GBK.
so please, please When we come off air, let's exchange that information. We'll get that money e-transferred out to you, and you go and conquer the world. Both of you,
Thank
okay?
you. Thank
Awesome,
you.
awesome.
Thank
And
you
then
so
listen,
much.
we want to know how to more about you ladies. Now whether you're watching this show live or whether you're watching it on demand, ladies and gentlemen, as so many people watch it on demand later on. The ladies are going to leave their contact information in the show. Follow up with them. Okay, maybe it's just a word of encouragement that you're looking for, or maybe you're looking to buy a book, or maybe you're looking to order some fish, or maybe you're looking to do some network marketing. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I just want to tell you once again that we are so excited that tonight GBKM TV will be hosting the fundraising event for Stop Gun Violence, brought to you by none other than Keep6.org and Richard Miller, the founder himself. It all kicks off right here live tonight, starting at 6 p.m. It goes until 9:30 p.m. It's hot, 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 jam-packed event, entertainers, speakers, and so much more. Make sure you join the party, ladies and gentlemen, starting at 6 p.m. I know that I am, and I know that I'm ready to give, because it is better to give. You will receive so much more in return. Once again, I just want to give the girls the opportunity to give us their contact information now before we close today's show. And we'll start with you, Stacy. Tell us, how do we contact you and how do we get to buy those books?
You can contact me on any of
Speak
my
up. We
social
want to
media
take right in the speaker.
through my social media platforms, Destiny Savory on Facebook. You can send me a message. I'm on Amazon.com. You can Google at The Perfect Storm, navigating the storms of life through messy waters, Stacy Savory. And yeah, contact me also by Messenger. And then you can send me an e-transfer, make arrangement to get the book to you. Thank
Thank you
you
so
so much for
much.
having me, Jacqueline.
You're so welcome,
Bless
sweetheart.
you.
I can't wait to see you back out in the trail when we finally get out there. I can't wait to see you. And Cheryl Dean, talk to us about how to make contact with you, please.
All right. So you can contact me directly, 416-830-2148, or you can follow me on Instagram at Meet Cheryl Dean. And you can also friend me here on Facebook or wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to thank you for tuning into the Ordinary People Show. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things. You just saw it live and direct. Proof positive that ordinary people do extraordinary things. I'm going to be right back here next week, same time, same place, for a blockbuster show, the last one of the year. And it's called Defund the Police. You don't want to miss that hot button topic. It's happening right here. We have active duty police officers along with philanthropists and community organizers that are going to be debating it out right here in the GBKM studios about this whole concept of defund the police. Don't miss it. Same time, same place next week, right here in GBKM TV. Until then, cheers.
Hello, everybody. I'm Liberty Silver from Keep6.org. I'm here to inform you of Stop the Violence virtual concert, December 12th at 6 p.m. We will be raising funds through this concert to give families who have been impacted by gun violence, helping them to have a happier holiday season. Please visit www.keep6.org